practical tips to make Halloween fun and avoid meltdowns. So the first thing is to create predictability and then control for your child. And what I mean by that, the predictability and the control, is that with the predictability, your child's brain feels the safest when it knows what to expect. So that means that if you are gonna go trick-or-treating, our best strategy for you is to give a predictable time frame in which you are going to go trick-or-treating for your child, and have it be triggered by then a certain event. So if you are going to go trick-or-treating after dinner, then that is what you explain to your child. You say, we are going to eat dinner. Bonus point, tell them what that dinner is going to be ahead of time. Tell them what to expect right before the event is going to happen in which they are anticipating. So then their nervous system isn't just ruminating and thinking and spinning about this really big fun event that they want to do without knowing what is going to come right before that. So let's say you are going to have a pizza party before you go trick-or-treating. So you say, first we're going to eat pizza, then we're gonna go trick-or-treating. So then your child isn't then spent the whole day after school thinking, when are we going trick-or-treating? When are we going trick-or-treating? When are we going trick-or-treating? Then you say, first dinner, then trick-or-treating. Okay, that's our first predictability tip for you. Then the second predictability tip is to then lay out, okay, we're gonna go trick-or-treating from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Then you are giving them predictable time increments of saying, okay, we have 15 minutes left, we have 10 minutes left, we have 5 minutes left. Okay, now time to go home. If your child has a hard time with time in general, which is a challenging concept for most kids, quite honestly, is that another great strategy for that is to actually then say, okay, we're going to do this many houses on the street. This is also why we are giving you these tips right now, so that then you can actually tonight or tomorrow go and drive the street that you are going to be trick-or-treating in. That would be fantastic. So you drive the street and you say, okay, this is the streets that we are gonna go trick-or-treating around. Do you see that house? That's gonna be our last house. Once we get to that last red house, then it's time for us to go home. So that then when you get to that red house, their brain has already seen that house and you've already talked about that. That is the predictable aspect. Then their nervous system is calm and says, okay, we did that last red house, so that then when you say, okay, now it's time to go home, the chances of that meltdown come way down, because then they don't feel like out of control and that chaos within their nervous system, and that they don't then feel super upset about stopping this fun activity that they are wanting to do. Okay, so creating predictability. Also, creating predictability about what is going to then happen with the candy aspect. Now, every family needs to decide this for themselves. Us personally, what we are doing is we are trading their candy for these like small toys that my kids like the fidget spinners and the poppers, and just kind of like small trinkets that my kids like. That is what they are then going to trade their candy for. And so we have already discussed this with them. They have already seen these toys. They know that that is what is going to happen. I would recommend, if you are going to do a switch of something, a trade of something, that you are communicating that beforehand, and that then when that happens, again, it's not something of you taking it away from them and that triggering that fight or flight response, but rather it's something that you have already talked about. Bonus tip would be that they actually pick what they are going to trade it for. For example, our daughter Luca specifically told me that she wanted this sensory toy from Target to trade her candy in for. And I said, Perfect. I will absolutely trade the candy for this sensory toy that you want. She got to pick that. The chances of her getting upset about trading the candy go way down because we gave her predictability and we gave her control about what then she is switching it for. That is going to work out really well for our family. So you have to decide what's going to work best for your family. But what I'm trying to say is that having that conversation beforehand and not right in the moment of, okay, they have this whole pile of candy and now you're trying to decide what to do with this and you're saying, okay, you're gonna get 3 pieces or you're gonna get 5 pieces or you're gonna get no pieces or you're just gonna be able to eat all of it. Having that plan beforehand and talking about it, again, a few days in advance, doing it the day before in advance, and then the day of, again, is going to decrease the chances of the meltdown tremendously. Now, next aspect of Halloween is that Halloween is a heavy sensory holiday, meaning that they're wearing a costume that they don't normally wear. A lot of times these costumes are kind of itchy. There might be something over their head. It might have a weird tag. So if you're starting to notice that your kid is getting irritated about the costume, maybe just say, hey, do you want to wear this? And if they say yes, then say, okay, is there a way that we can make it more comfy? And then go with your child and make sure that they are feeling comfortable within their costume. Or just saying, hey, would it be more fun to wear this Halloween t-shirt or sweatshirt? Or maybe even just saying, hey, you know, you can just dress up as your awesome self and they wear their own clothes. Again, this is supposed to be fun. This is not supposed to be something that is super stressful for you or your child. So just going with the flow when it comes to the sensory aspect of your costume is going to help tremendously as well. And then the third tip for you as parents that are watching this video is to just decrease the expectations that you as the parent have, right? I feel like we as parents want these holidays and these days to be just like so fun and to just create these like awesome family memories. And yes, we want that. I have 3 young kids myself. Like I want that for our family too. But just remembering that it is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. And the way that we can do that as parents is by lowering our expectations a little bit, help with that aspect of too. Because then when we are calm and relaxed, then our kids can borrow that calm and relaxed state as well. And so I have to remind myself of that, and usually then things go a little bit smoother when it comes to holidays and big exciting days and events like this. Another thing is that when you are out and about trick-or-treating or at the holiday party, and if you're starting to notice that your kid is starting to get frustrated or irritated or scared, and you're starting to notice the anxiety is starting to creep up, then connecting with your child. So decreasing your eye level, getting on their level, and then doing a calming nervous system technique. So ones that we really love is to have your child breathe in through a curled tongue like this. That stimulates the vagus nerve, calms the nervous system down. If your child can't curl their tongue, then have them breathe in like they're breathing in through a straw, like this. That will help. Also giving deep pressure to big joints, so the shoulders, the hips, and just doing like a big, nice bear hug also sends deep pressure from the body going up to the brain, calms the nervous system down. So if you're starting to notice in the excitement of everything that your child is starting to get dysregulated, doing those techniques can help calm everything down. And then again, you can move from this more stressful fight or flight state and back into the fun, calm, logical state. So I hope that these tips were helpful. Again, create predictability, give your child control when it comes to certain aspects of the night, decrease their sensory demand by just making sure that their costume is actually comfy and modifying it any way that it needs to. And then lastly, decreasing your expectations as a parent is going to help make this day fun for your family. So stay tuned to see how our family dresses up, and I will actually give some feedback on whether or not these techniques worked for our family as well. Because again, as a pediatric chiropractor, I not only put these practices in theoretically, but we actually utilize these strategies on a day-to-day basis with our 3 young kids as well. So we are right there in it with you. Okay, have a great day, and I look forward to hearing about everybody's Halloween fun.